We got some news about Fantastic Four. We got the Deadpool 3 trailer. We got some news about Invincible. And we are going to be reviewing the astonishing, outrageous Madam Web movie. And I have a very special guest who's on the other side of the pond who's going to be joining me for this episode. Eric, how are you going, man? After a little bit of tech issues?
I'm good. I'm good. Just had to get that app. And, all ran smoothly. It's like we were in the thing, and then I thought, okay, it's working, and then as soon as you press like the live, it's like, oh, unsupported. I'm like, what?
Shit.
So yeah, luckily the app fixed it.
That's the first experience of myself for someone using that app. So I'm glad to know the fact that in future, just use the app.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And you're actually clearer too. You're a lot.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's good.
Yeah. So before we go fully into this episode, ladies and gentlemen, we all know what comes up first.
Welcome to the Light, Camera, Rant Podcast. Your source for the latest on movies, TV shows, and video games. Get ready for ranting, raving, and reviewing. Here is your host, Lee.
So, as I said before this episode started, thank you so much for coming on the show, man. I couldn't think of anyone better to talk about Madam Web. And look, as we were saying, this entire week has been utterly nuts. So I don't know if Marvel was like, we saw Madam Web bombing already, so let's just pump out every little bit of news we need. But this week's been wild. And Eric, even yourself, like you've got 89 subscribers on Instagram, and your videos are fantastic. And your top video has like 165,000 views.
I don't know. That might be maybe just the one I have from like the Game of Thrones convention, which is just a recording of a Kit Harington panel. I'm pretty sure, but yeah, no, I mean, yeah, the ones I've edited and actually put more time into, I don't know if they have as many, but yeah, no, it was fun to like get in the YouTube space through those videos, and have made a lot of good friends along the way. And yeah, I don't know, maybe at some point I'll get more in the rhythm again.
Well, it's a hard journey. Like it's an absolute grind. If to anyone who's like, oh, just go onto YouTube, you'll be fine. It's quite easy. And like, bullshit. Bullshit.
Yeah, no, for sure. Especially if like you want to like make the videos really like, pop and stuff and be watchable. Especially if they like go on a while, then you really gotta do some good editing. And I tried to do some longer reviews, and those are brutal to edit.
I know. And what I think we were saying too, just shooting it is the easiest part.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Everything else is what the longest is.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm glad for now if just it was worth it to do all that stuff just so that I would get invited to talk on some streams like this and stuff.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming on. We've been talking for a while now. Well over a year.
Yeah, it's all kind of a blur, I mean, I don't even remember when we started talking, but we just kind of, I don't know if I like probably commented on one of your stories or something. I'm not sure, but yeah, I don't know.
I think so.
Yeah,
but I think I might have followed you first. I think it might
maybe. Like, yeah, I don't even remember. It's just when I see things that like interest me, I'm like, I'm just gonna message you my opinion on that.
Whether you like it or not.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, no, it's no. Look, we
always have really like pretty civil conversations, I would say.
Yes, nothing brutal like what you can sometimes see on people on TikTok.
Yeah. I don't really go on TikTok, but yeah.
Oh, I don't. Some people like I'll get like 3 comments being like, yeah, that's a good review, or that's not too bad. I get one person who's like, nah, that's shit. Why would you do that? This is a bullshit answer. You have no idea what you're talking about. I'm like, and then I'll go on their profile and they won't have a profile photo and it would just be like random shitty videos. I'm like, yeah, I've really, you've really hurt my soul. So,
Yeah, the internet's like that.
I know. And look, this is the first time you've been on this podcast and it definitely won't be your last. That's for sure. But the question I do ask everybody is like, what is your favorite movie of all time, or what's your top 2 favorite movies of all time, and why?
Can I do 3? Because it's kind of a trilogy.
Yeah, you can do 3. Yeah.
I don't know. So yeah, it's not this for anyone who knows me at all. It's like absolutely zero surprise, but it's the Dark Knight trilogy. Just like those movies, just like had such a big impact on me and made me like the lifelong kind of diehard Batman fan that I am now, as you can probably see on my shelf and stuff. I kind of popped out some Spider-Man ones though as well, since we were talking Madam Web. But seeing like the Dark Knight in theaters back like opening day when it came out, like just blew my mind. And then I remember like those 4 years waiting for the third one, just like took forever to come out, and it was just, I don't know. I love all 3 of them though. I can't even pick a favorite anymore. But
it's just that hard. Well, actually, the Batman one I think is the first one when we started talking I watched, because it must have been I think it might have been around the Batman came out. I watched your review on that.
Oh yeah, I guess that was the last full like movie review I did. Yeah, it's probably and it's probably, I think it's probably like my favorite video I've done probably still, because I kind of put everything I had into that one, because I'm like, finally a new Batman movie to talk about.
I know, which that year we were meant to get 3 Batman.
Well, the Flash and what else?
Well, no, it was meant. Yeah, we were meant to get it was meant to be Michael Keaton, and then I think Michael Keaton, Ben Affleck, and Robert Pattinson were all meant to be that year of Batman.
Oh, okay. So Michael Keaton and Ben Affleck just in the one movie.
The Flash, yeah.
Yeah.
Which we're still waiting. Is it 2025? No, 2025. The Batman 2.
Oh yeah. That's just a couple of months after Superman Legacy, so that'll be pretty crazy having a Superman movie and a Batman movie kind of back to back, even though they're not the same like universe or whatever.
Not the same, not connected. Yet there is going to be another Batman movie after that will be connected. Yeah. But no, and like one thing I do agree with you is that going back to that Batman review is that Robert Pattinson did do a good job, and I found that was such a very gritty Batman, more grittier than the Dark Knight trilogy.
I think they're kind of, I don't know, they're just both a bit different. I mean, I'm not sure which one is. I don't know. I mean, the Dark Knight's still pretty gritty with Heath Ledger and stuff. I don't know, but I see what you mean.
Well, more so, like I can say that the way they portrayed Gotham in that movie made me think of like Arkham City. Yeah,
a little bit. Yeah. No, you get an Arkham vibe from those from the Batman, the new one.
Yeah, opposed to.
I feel like to me the Arkham games are just kind of like all the great versions of Batman merged into one kind of thing. They kind of feel like all of it, and it's just like there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But and then so I can kind of understand why with the Suicide Squad game continuing the Arkhamverse, why some people aren't happy now that I've gotten almost to the end of it. But
yes, which we will get into that too. I've got a hot talk about that as well. But if besides the Dark Knight trilogy, what's another movie that you always go back and watch?
I guess
I'm always curious to know because
there's like, I guess there's so many is the thing, but I mean not that I'm as diehard of a fan of it, but I consider them, like, I get why people think they're the best movies ever, like Lord of the Rings also, that like those trilogies are kind of tied for me, but also Batman just means a bit more to me personally. But yeah, and then I mean, I love the Daniel Craig Bond movies, like at least like 3 of them are some of my favorite movies.
I always remember going to Casino Royale, and I thought, God, that was so good.
Yeah, no, and it's like
Yeah.
kind of I'm back and forth between Casino Royale and Skyfall is my favorite.
Oh, yeah. Skyfall's so good. Also, I forgot.
Yeah, it's
Being a
sort of like
Batman.
I'm kind of sorry.
I was gonna say I'm right there with you being a Batman fan
Oh,
too. I've got like a Batman tattoo
you
right
do? Oh
here.
man.
Yeah, I've got it's the bat symbol, but half of it's shattered into bats and it goes up my shoulder and breaks up.
Oh man, that's awesome. Yeah, I don't
Uh,
have any tattoos, but if I did get one, it probably would be Batman.
I was gonna say Batman. Yeah, I got it on my 21st birthday, and it was the 75th anniversary of Batman,
Oh
which was
wow.
just a fluke, just an utter fluke. It was the 75th anniversary.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what year would that have been then. That was because I guess it was
2000 and it was
the
after
late
Dark Knight trilogy.
2010s.
Yeah, it'd be about 10. Oh my god, shit! Just 10 years ago, because I'm 31 now.
Oh wow, yeah. Yeah, so 2014-ish.
Yep, that would be. Yeah, it'd be about that. Yeah, and that's the only tattoo I've ever gotten. I'm still nervous to go back and get another one.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, no, I have a lot of friends that have quite a few, but yeah, I haven't. I don't know. I just even if it's something like my favorite thing, I just don't know if I'm too indecisive. I think I'd be like, oh, should I have done something else or something as soon as I get it. But
Yeah. Well, it was that's the only thing I've actually gone and said, yep, 100% I'll get that. And I'm still, to me now, I don't regret it getting it. But I haven't found something else that I've gone 100% on. Probably the next thing that I've looked at and gone, oh, I could get it is a Dragon Ball Z tattoo.
hmm. I
But,
remember I used to watch it when I was a kid. I haven't really kept up with it now. But
oh, yeah, there's so much to it now compared to being a kid.
yeah.
But, yeah.
No, I mean,
Um,
sorry. Yeah.
no, keep going.
Oh no, I was just gonna say the only other thing I could think of. I mean, my one of my other big obsessions too is Game of Thrones. So you can see, got like a shelf for that here.
Oh, yeah, I can see all
Basically,
that.
like I got these two shelves are pretty much all Batman stuff. Mostly Dark Knight trilogy here. Mostly the Batman up there. And I busted out some Marvel ones for this podcast. But and then I got like a James Bond shelf up there. So yeah, I mean, if I was to pick something else that's like not on the shelf too, I guess yeah, the original Indiana Jones trilogy. Still, that's another one of my absolute favorites.
So not the quad trilogy, just the original,
I mean,
trilogy.
actually, like I don't mind the two newer ones, but like yeah, they're nowhere near the originals. But like I don't hate them like most people.
Oh, that's good. If to me, I would go back. Actually, I'd probably go 1, 2, and 3, and I would watch 5. I enjoyed 5 a lot more than I enjoyed 4.
Oh, really? To me, they're kind of interchangeable. I think there's things about 4 I like more, and things about 5 I like more. I think
You like
5 felt more unnecessary, though. I think 4 had
yes,
more baffling moments, but 5 really felt like okay, so he sort of ends up in the same place that he did at the end of 4 minus Shia LaBeouf.
yeah, technically, yeah, he did.
Like yeah, sorry, yeah.
Oh no, keep going.
Oh no, I was just gonna say like I went into it kind of expecting. I'm not saying I wanted this, but I kind of was expecting he was like gonna die or something because I'm like, okay, what else do you do at this point if you're bringing him back again? What kind of ending? He already had an ending kind of twice in the previous movies.
Mm.
And then I thought maybe I don't know, maybe it was just because I was coming off of like No Time to Die and stuff like a year or two before. I'm like, okay, well, James Bond died, and so now I think we're gonna kill Indy. Not that we should, but and yeah. Although I like No Time to Die a lot, and I think that was the right ending, even though I know that's a bit of a hot take for some people.
No, I agree with you about that. I think it was a great way to end.
That's actually my record for not that I probably still like Casino Royale and Skyfall a bit more, but that's my record actually of how many times I've been to a movie in the theater because I was so desperate after how long it was delayed and stuff. I saw it like 6 times in the theater.
Holy
Yeah.
shit!
Yeah.
I can't say I've ever seen a movie 6 times.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen quite a few 5 actually, and then just that one I hit 6. I saw the Batman 5 times.
Oh
And I
my
think
god.
yeah, it used to be. Oh, and that's another thing with The Dark Knight too. Another reason why it had such an impact on me. Before that movie, I'd never gone multiple times to the theater to see the same movie, and then The
Yeah.
Dark Knight, I was just like, oh, I need to see it again. And I saw it like 3 times. So, and then since then, I've always kind of gone more times to movies I really like, but only in the last, really since COVID, I like even started to go even more for a while, and then I slowed down again because I was eating too much popcorn.
Oh yeah, I can feel that. But god damn, I think the most I've ever seen a film, I think is about 3 times,
That
and
was
that's
so
on.
same for
I,
me
I
until
got
like
dragged
COVID.
along.
Yeah, it was really same for me until like a bit after COVID, and I was maybe like the opposite of some people. I was like clawing to go back for certain movies, you know?
Yeah. Wow. That's so what's going to be the Joker at the end of this year, because that's your top film on your letterbox, isn't it?
Oh yeah, that's my most anticipated. Deadpool's
Yeah.
pretty close, though. We'll get into that. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know.
Um,
I'm not really going probably more than 3 times these days, though, to something I'm really anticipating. I think the last one I went to more than 3 times was Guardians 3 last year. I did go a fourth time to that one, but yeah.
oh no, that's a good choice. I couldn't. I have not watched Guardians of the Galaxy again because I know I'll just cry.
Yeah, no, it's definitely, yeah, it really hits you in the feels for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know I go back and forth honestly. Still, I still haven't fully decided. I think I need to rewatch Oppenheimer one more time, but I'm still not
Mm.
totally sure whether Guardians or Oppenheimer was my favorite movie of last year. So different, so it just depends on my mood.
Oh, my top film of last year, in my episode, I spoke about my top film. Mine was Oppenheimer.
Yeah,
Above,
I think that's the best movie. It's just a matter of like whether but I don't know, I really love Rocket, so yeah.
yeah, but yeah, my second pick is Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh wow, okay. So we're right on the same page then.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
have
Guardians.
Guardians over Spider-Verse even, because I feel like I'm in the minority on having Guardians over Spider-Verse.
Oh no, I would
Oh
still
no.
have Guardians because it was the end of the trilogy and it was the last time with those characters. But
Yeah,
the
it just
Spider-Verse
means more to
movie,
me personally. Yeah, no, Spider-Verse was great. I just like the characters like connect a bit more with me in Guardians.
yeah, and I'm with you on that, man, too. Like, it's if it was just Guardians of the Galaxy 2 that came out last year, then I would say Spider-Verse by far,
Oh,
would be the more superior film.
I'd go Guardians too.
You'd still go Guardians too.
Yeah, no, honestly, like I think the Guardians trilogy actually gets better each movie for me, and I love the first one. I don't know, they're all like pretty much those 3 and like Infinity War are like kind of the top MCU for me.
Yeah, I'd say Guardians of the Galaxy, Cap, Spider-Man would be the ones that I feel like have had the most solid trilogy.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Spider-Man was really bolstered by No Way Home. I don't know if I would like quite put him there if it weren't for that movie.
No,
But I mean, like the other 2 are good, but like, yeah, I don't think they're that trilogy is as consistently good as like Guardians of the Galaxy is.
no, Guardians of the Galaxy has stayed bang for bang for bang.
Yeah, even though
And
people like to dump on the second one, I'm like, I don't know, it holds up really well if you ask me. But
yeah, it's got Kurt Russell.
Yeah, no, it's
And he's a dick.
Awesome. Yeah, no, he's. I mean, it's got a better. Yeah, he's a better villain, I think, than Ronan in the first one.
Yeah, I think I agree with that too.
100%. Yeah, and then High Evolutionary was, I think, even better.
High Evolution was so good.
Yeah, he was just
so
cool.
I know, and honestly, and I said this in the podcast. I was like, I understand why people would like him to be Kang.
That would just be too weird when he was like literally already.
Oh, if he didn't. No, but like if he wasn't High Revolutionary, he would have done a banger job as Kang.
Maybe. I don't know. I feel like I don't like know enough about Kang besides what I've seen in the movies and shows to really give too informed of an opinion. But yeah, no, I'm not sure. Kang doesn't seem as evil as a High Evolutionary, I wouldn't say.
Not right now, no. High Revolution is a
Not like
lot more. High Revolution's a lot more.
like he's just outright vindictive, you know? Like
Yeah,
Kang, I think, has like kind of a goal, or like he's more like Thanos, you know? He's like doing it for a reason he believes is good, maybe
yeah.
to
Not
some extent.
because you want to, high evolution of life and everything.
Yeah.
But look, let's move on to the news this week because it has been absolutely massive going into this. Now, I will touch on this briefly because I can't miss it too much. Is that we did get the Xbox podcast saying that there'll be two major titles and two small titles that will be exclusive. Sorry, Xbox exclusive that will now be going on to PlayStation. They haven't announced for which ones they're going to be, but one of them I have no doubt is going to be Sea of Thieves, which I'm excited for. But it will not be Starfield or Indiana Jones. Are you much of a gamer, Eric? Oh yeah, you got PlayStation, don't you?
Yeah, I'm a PlayStation guy. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not like a. I play my PlayStation quite a bit. I'll say that, but I'm not like a hardcore gamer, if that makes sense. I generally gravitate towards like more like narrative focused games mainly. That's what I spend my time on, kind of. But I don't know. I'd say I'm a gamer, but maybe I just know there's much more serious gamers is all.
There is a lot of people out there that are like really in depth into it, which is completely understandable.
Oh yeah.
But yes, two will be coming. Two small and two large will be coming to Xbox. Coming to PlayStation in that sense. And they've said the fact that they're going to be that these games have been around for a while. It's no new titles. It's only stuff with massive communities that will be coming across. Probably for me, the most disappointing thing from the entire podcast, which was only 30 minutes, was Indiana Jones. I was really hoping Indiana Jones they were going to the flip and come on PlayStation, but that's
So
not the
that's
case.
confirmed. It's not. That's confirmed.
Yeah, he said.
Man, yeah, no, that's like frick. I'm like, I might need to get an Xbox because as I mentioned, Indiana Jones is sort of one of those things. I kind of want to, take in all the Indiana Jones content they put out. So even if it's not that good, I'm gonna want to play it.
Same. I'm exactly the same. I'm gonna want to play it, and I was trying not to. I was trying not to get an Xbox, but as soon as I saw that, I was like, all right, I guess I gotta fork it out. I'll do it. I'll fork it out and grab it.
So you're currently PlayStation only.
Yeah, I'm a PlayStation guy.
Okay.
I'm a PlayStation guy. So when I saw that was Xbox exclusive, I was just like, shit.
Yeah, I guess they do need some exclusives because it has sort of felt like for a while there's been like almost nothing. If you just want like, I don't know, any of the main kind of big games, like usually they're either on both or just on PlayStation.
Yeah, and that's it. And well, the thing is, like Xbox, what's really drive them up is not only doing their massive acquisition of Activision Blizzard, but also their oh my god, not crossplay. Their Xbox Gamer Pass. Sorry, Gamer Pass.
Yeah, is that
which is their Netflix?
Yeah, no. I have. Do you have like PlayStation Plus Premium? Because it's sort of similar.
I don't, but yeah, I know it's the same thing. But like because Xbox did it first, that's kind of like what's kept them going strong.
Yeah, I only actually got that like in the past 6 months or so, and I gotta say it's really worth it. Like it's pretty cool all the stuff they have on there, especially because you get to go back and like play all like PS3 games and stuff, because obviously those weren't like backward compatible with anything after PS3, and some of them that's like the only place you can play them on current gen.
Yeah, and I have gone through those listing of games that PlayStation does offer, but none of them I've really gone, yeah, let's get that plus for it.
Oh, but it's just like, and they keep adding. I don't know. I'm not sure if so far I haven't noticed any like get taken off, but I'm assuming that probably happens at some point if it's like Netflix.
Yeah, I know. It would just be gone. And you're like, oh, that's shit.
Oh yeah, but it would be more frustrating for a game because you're like in the middle of it. I would hope they'd like really like give you warning or something.
It probably, well, yeah, probably the fact that you've downloaded into your library, but someone fresh can't download it from straight from the thing.
Yeah, or a lot of them I just stream though. That's the thing because then it doesn't take up space and it's just easy.
Yeah.
I've been playing like a
Well,
bunch of the Lego games again from like pretty nostalgic. They're really fun.
oh, really?
Yeah, been streaming. Those were like the first ones I did. I got like Star Wars, Indiana Jones, Batman, of course. So like basically the original ones. Those were like the first three, right?
Mm.
Yeah, I've just been kind of not like rushing through them, but just every now and then when I just want something casual, then yeah, they're just kind of perfect. They're really fun still.
They are, and especially the earlier ones, because I think people forget that there was no voice acting in the early ones.
I have yet to play any of the ones with voice acting because I actually haven't played like the Batman sequels. I've just played the first one, but I'm planning to. I want to replay them all in order though, because they're all the Batman ones are on there, and yeah, Star Wars and Indy, and there's even like Pirates. I think is on there. I'm not.
I forgot there was a Pirates one.
Yeah,
I remember.
Good.
Remember Lego? Sorry, I remember Marvel's Avengers, Star Wars, Indiana Jones, Batman. But yeah, I forgot that they did Pirates.
Yeah, I don't think any of the Marvel ones are on there, but I mean, they'd definitely be ones I'd like want to try at some point too.
The Marvel Avengers one. I think that's
one of at least one of those is like really good. There's like Avengers and there's superheroes though. I'm like, I don't know. Is it superheroes Avengers is like the really good one?
No, I think Avengers was a really good one.
Is it? Okay. I'm not.
Well, that's the one I bought. I didn't play superheroes. I played that one.
Yeah, I wonder what like the big difference is even between the two, because it's not like the Avengers one. It's not like it just sticks totally to the movie, right? So it's has other characters in it too.
Yeah, it has other characters in it altogether, but you nearly have all of them. You nearly have all of them, and it's great. Yeah,
no, I mean it's that like the Lego formula. It's just like, it's just you can just kind of do anything with it. So it's a fun time.
And there's another one that I'm forgetting. Jurassic Park.
Oh, yeah, no,
Jurassic Park was.
That was a pretty recent one, right?
Yeah, because it's got all 6 films.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
No, I think it's got 5.
Oh, that's weird. Weird spot to hit.
I think it came out. Yeah.
Yeah, no, but like there's so many. There's even like just so many other like Lego games I wish existed. Like I think that do you know they were actually developing like a James Bond one at one point, then it got scrapped.
Really? I can't.
Yeah, I think I looked into it because there was there's like a little like cinematic you can even see they did like a test footage thing of him. I guess they were even gonna. Sorry? Yeah.
I was gonna say, is that him seducing other Legos?
I don't know. Well, I think that's part of the reason it didn't end up happening because they're like, I think it was sort of right before the Daniel Craig era kicked off. And they were thinking like maybe like I'm not sure if it was after they've done I think it was after they'd done Star Wars before they decided on Indy as the next one. They were gonna do Bond first, I think. So it's not hard to see how when they didn't do Bond, then they went with Indy. They're kind of similar and in some ways. And but I think because they realized Bond's it's I mean it's not R-rated, but like it's a little more adult. A
little bit.
But they do have like some Bond Lego now. I have one from No Time to Die, like the car with him in it.
Oh, so sweet.
That's like the only, I think there's like that and like a bigger scale car. That's about all the Bond Lego there is, but I've always wished there would be more. Because I feel like you could do so much from that with like all the different villains layers and stuff. Could have so many cool Lego sets.
Yeah.
And just imagine for a Lego game, like how many movies there are to choose from to make. Like,
yeah,
just like
and
so many.
you could still have a massive roster too. You have all the Bonds.
Yeah, you have, and then all the different villains and stuff. I think there was a time, like maybe around that time, when they were almost going to do it, where that would have been like a really big success. Now I don't think it's like popular enough with the generation that would actually buy Lego games.
No,
But I mean, I think there was a time where it would have been, and I'm sad it didn't happen.
I think if they were to do it now, they would have to launch at the same time as when the new Bond finally comes out to be like a retrospective, like what's come before.
Yeah, that would be so cool. And I'm still mad they haven't put out like a 4K set of all 25 movies. You can get a set with the 24 of them, and it's like 25 was like the perfect spot to do it. It's like the end, like you get like a whole ending kind of to the whole thing.
Yeah,
and they just haven't out a set with all of them.
They probably will when the new movie's about to drop,
I guess, but I don't want it like a set with the new one that's a whole start of a whole other thing. You know what I mean? But maybe I just want like one that like ends with the Daniel Craig ones, because
it's
a nice
one
book.
pack.
25 movies. It's a nice end. It's just sort of, it's just like it's just like, oh, that feels right.
Not 26.
Yeah, no, I don't want. I'll get those separately.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's we'll find out. Apparently, with the Xbox, those 4 tiles are going to be announced. They're not going to be announced by Xbox. They are going to be announced by the individual developers of the games. They are going to come forth and let you know which one's going to be on PlayStation. But I'm 100% down for Sea of Thieves to be on PlayStation. But at the same time, looks like I have to be buying an Xbox at the end of this year. It can be a wedding present to myself. We also got a brand new short trailer for Invincible Season 2 that is coming in March. I hate how they break up the seasons together. You get 6 and get 6 later. I'm like, why? Just dump the whole thing. Just do the whole show. Don't do the Netflix thing. It pisses me off.
Yeah.
Like they did it to... Yeah, Netflix nearly does it to half their shows.
Yeah, I mean, well, they used to just all drop at once, and now I guess they realized that it doesn't make the hype last as long, so trying to break it up a little bit. But I mean, I don't know. At that point, like you almost might as well just go week to week.
Well, that's what I mean. And like we're gonna get the new season. Like this is gonna drop, and then we're gonna get 6 episodes, and then. All right, now I have to wait to season 3, which is going to be hopefully no longer wait, but still, it's really annoying. They're like, oh, okay, guess I'll just. It's almost like you're just getting glimpses, like you're just getting.
Oh no, I was just gonna say with TV now more and more, it's just I guess it's becoming just higher and higher profile, so it's becoming more like movies. So like the seasons for everything just take longer to make than they used to. That's what it seems like.
Yeah, well, I think
kind of. Sorry, I was just gonna say it just kind of blows my mind, like because I guess I feel like Game of Thrones obviously was, if you were to narrow it down to one show that really pushed movies or shows into more like that cinematic direction, it's probably mostly that show. Definitely other ones too, but it just like blows my mind still, like that show until the last season it came out like every year, like 10 episodes. Like, how did they do that? Because now it seems like shows like of that level, like they can't do that now. It kind of blows my mind they were able to like, consistently put out a full season of that for like almost a decade.
Just keep pumping it out. It's what I was gonna say is because of COVID. COVID just threw everything out. Like the Invincible, the reason why there's been such a big gap is because COVID.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's definitely a factor.
Yeah, try and get all the animators, everyone to do the show, which the creators have said the gap between season 2 and season 3 will be a lot shorter. But you're also right. Game of Thrones, that show really pushed that, taking the quality of a movie and putting it into a TV show, which we see now. Like we're gonna see that we saw that in the House of Dragon, we saw that in the Rings of Power. We're gonna see that in. I have no doubt we're going to see that in the God of War TV show from Amazon. We're going to see that in Fallout.
Yeah, no, it's just sort of like, yeah, it's a different kind of landscape now. So we have just kind of different kind of expectations. It's like usually less episodes, but longer wait times. But for the most part, the episodes are, there's a lot more to them, at least
Mm.
production value wise.
Well, that's right. Doesn't mean quality wise. Production, yes.
Not always, yeah.
If you look at Halo. Ugh.
Yeah, that's on Paramount, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I'm currently
That's,
watching it at the
I
moment.
don't have that one. And again,
Oh yeah.
I was never an Xbox guy, so I don't really have the attachment to it. But
Well, it's yeah. I'm not getting into it. It's doing all right, except it's like they're going, oh, here's the source material of the game. Here's the source material of the books. Cool. Anyway, let's do this.
so kind of like the Star Wars sequels,
Yeah, pretty much. Yep.
where they just were like, okay, we'll just wipe away all the canon and stuff.
Yeah. Thanks, George, for all your hard work for the past 30 years. You did a fantastic job. We've got from here worst trilogy ever, and the fact that Mandalorian saved Star Wars.
Yeah, but I don't know. But then season 3 was kind of.
Yeah. I didn't say all the seasons were solid. I just said he saved Star Wars.
I mean, I like the first 2 of the sequels. I think Last Jedi is actually pretty awesome, but I know it's kind of controversial. But Rise of Skywalker was just the pits, because it just like that one just made nobody happy.
No, and it's when I look back on it, I think to myself, I'm like, wow, this is really so incoherent, and you can tell there's been 2 directors that have done this, and you can tell they had no plan, and what an absolute waste. And the problem is because the fact that the first 2 trilogies, it's like poetry, it rhymes so well. And then you watch the TV shows and it's the same kind of like vision going into that. And you're just like, what went wrong?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was just, I mean, I don't know. I always feel like when I talk on this stuff, I feel like a bit like out of my depth. I'm like, okay, well, I haven't worked on making these things, but I mean, yeah, just from an outsider's perspective, it's like, yeah, it just sort of seems like they just were maybe a little in over their heads and thought that they were sort of like, I don't know, untouchable because it's Star Wars. Like that's how a lot of franchises kind of seem to get at some point, right?
Yeah. Well, we know you'll come regardless. Yeah, but we're gonna complain about it. We're gonna fucking complain about it.
Yeah, and it's only recently we're really starting to see that kind of thing affect the box office more. It feels like because, I mean, again though, all those Star Wars movies still hit $1 billion. So, other than like Solo.
Yeah, yeah.
But I mean, hey, I'll take that movie over Rise of Skywalker any day.
Yeah, same, 100%. So Suicide Squad. I just finished this last night. What are you up to at the moment? Where are you at?
I mean, so I'm at the point where I think I'm not worried about spoilers anymore. I'll just say I've like, okay, I guess. So we can talk spoilers now, or do we need to give like a warning to people?
No, spoilers, left, right, and center. Spoilers on Suicide Squad. If you haven't played this game, and if you haven't been spoiled from TikTok, which I'd be very surprised if you haven't, definitely come back and listen to this podcast. But I think we're pretty safe right now.
Okay, just wanted to get that out of the way. But I mean, so I had basically most of it spoiled, I guess, but not I didn't actually. I managed to avoid actually seeing any of the big like deaths or anything, like the actual clips. But I just knew they happened basically, so I didn't know how Batman died exactly. But actually, I got to basically, so last night I got to the point where, okay, I've killed the Justice League now.
Okay.
Batman and Superman last night. And then I just really have Brainiac left. And then I know after that, then you have to there's a whole like other 12 Brainiacs, but I mean in the main like campaign or whatever.
Yeah, that. Funny enough, that was the bit in myself. I was like, oh, now you go first face Brainiac. Cool. But there's 13 or more of them. I'm like, oh.
Well, that's gonna be. I guess it's gonna be like a whole like season, right? Each one's gonna be like an episode or something, and
Yeah, it
they're
is.
gonna
Yeah,
release. I've actually never really. I'm a bit excited about that because I've never really like participated in like a game, a live service game, as it's like been kind of coming out with new things in that way. I don't think. Like I've never really been a Fortnite guy or anything like that. So in that way, I'm excited. But yeah, my thoughts on the game are kind of all over the place.
So, probably the most hot topic question, which we know, is: do you think they should have connected this to the Arkhamverse, or this should have been separate altogether?
So it's tough. I mean,
Silence.
it's like, okay, so what I would say is I get why people are upset about it connecting to the Arkhamverse, because that's like we were just saying earlier, the Arkhamverse in some ways is kind of like the absolute perfect version of Batman out of any medium. It sort of just combines everything that feels like Batman into one kind of perfect kind
Trilogy.
of take on the character and his world.
Yeah, or quad trilogy if you include Origins.
Yeah, no, and Origins even like it's not quite as amazing as the other three, but like it's really good still. Like it's a pretty awesome Batman game too. So it was just it's weird. I think what I would say is I think Suicide Squad's actually I think it's a pretty good game, maybe not a great game, but coming after the Arkham games and like being a follow-up to that, yeah, it just sort of it's a weird direction to take the Arkhamverse. But at the same time, so I think it possibly makes the Arkhamverse a little worse, but I think it being in the Arkhamverse makes it as a game itself a bit better, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Like,
I fully agree to that.
because it's like it wouldn't have had like if it was the same kind of game, live service, whatever. Like the gameplay is fun. It's not like amazing though. So I think part of what kept me invested in it was the fact that it's part of the Arkhamverse that like made it more interesting. But also now when I go back and play the Arkham games, I'm gonna be like, huh. So this is gonna go in a weird direction after Arkham Knight.
Yeah, I know. Speaking of Arkham Knight, right now they introduced the suit from Suicide Squad too.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, so not
Okay.
only can you download the Batman suit, you can now download the Suicide Squad Kills Justice League suit, which I saw on I think probably TikTok or YouTube. Actually looks really good in Arkham Knight setting. Like still fits.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, it's so weird because the game like very clearly like fits into the Arkhamverse, but also it just so doesn't even feel like a part of the Arkhamverse.
No, and but this is one thing I'll say about the Suicide Squad game that I found is like I found this game really enjoyable, and I wasn't upset that Batman died. I wasn't gutted. Yeah, they're back and forth.
Yeah, like it's such a like I think it's a really cool story idea and everything, but yeah, just something. I mean, just inherently something doesn't like quite sit right with Batman, especially the Arkham version going out like that. Like it's one thing if he gets like a heroic sacrifice kind of death, but it's like he dies a villain.
Well, it's funny you say that because I saw a fan theory that if Batman and Wonder Woman swapped roles, that would have been better.
Yeah, I could see that, and that would I don't know because I guess it's probably in some of the audio tape things and like the codecs or whatever you can listen to. I haven't gone through all of them yet, but because I listened to one that sort of I don't know if you've listened to any of those yet, where it sort of has some clips of like the Justice League talking and stuff leading up to the Brainiac thing, and them like deciding, oh, we need to go and like Superman saying they need to go to the ship and like not attack immediately, and Batman's like, that's a stupid idea.
Yeah,
and
which is a stupid idea.
Yeah, so it's just like, oh, so this is I don't know. Yeah, if anything, the one that Yeah, I have to listen to the rest of the tapes to see how it actually plays out. Why Wonder Woman's the one, because they don't really tell you much, like why Wonder Woman's the only one that wasn't taken over, right? I don't
Well,
think they really.
neither was the Flash.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, yeah, true, but I guess yeah, then he pretty quickly is.
Yeah, but you're right. How did Wonder Woman? Wonder Woman's not fast. How did she get off the ship?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure, but like, yeah, to me, if anything, I don't know. Or obviously, I'm biased as hell, but yeah, I think most people probably would feel like more comfortable with like Batman being the lone wolf that didn't get turned. That seems like it fits his character more.
Yeah, but
Even if you like compare it to like the Injustice games, right? He's the one that's like, oh no, like I'm not going along with what you're doing,
that's
Superman, and
right.
all that, right?
Yeah, that's true. But the thing is, like, I actually liked the fact that he was watching you when you were
Yeah,
going
I
through
know.
everything, and that scene where you're going through the first time you interact with him, and it's
The Batman exhibition.
yeah, that felt to me really like Arkham. I'm like, oh, I'm so fucked. I am
Yeah.
so. There is no way I'm getting out of this.
Yeah, no, I mean that's probably I think that's like gotta be like that's the best part of the game, right?
Yeah,
Like it's just because it's really clever the way they like invert the whole Arkham experience, and now you're like the thugs getting taken out one by one.
yeah.
You can see like the little bat spray gel things and all that.
That's right. And you're like,
Um,
oh wow, I'm dead. I'm so
yeah.
dead.
So it's like
Uh,
it's things like that, like that make it's like, well, I don't know. It would be a lot less interesting if it wasn't in the Arkhamverse, and I think doing a Suicide Squad game in the Arkhamverse is probably the best place to do a Suicide Squad game because you've actually
mm,
built up some of the character. Really, really, mainly just Harley, I guess. But that's sort of been in a way like the version of Harley Quinn we've actually gotten to know the most consistently in almost like
yes.
any kind of medium outside of like maybe the animated series. So
Mm,
it's cool that we actually got to see her as a villain for like a whole trilogy and then kind of turn over a new leaf or whatever in this. Although it does feel like, again, it's sort of all the character developments just kind of like in that 5 year gap that we don't really get to see.
pretty much. How about
So
I would say too for the game, the absolute MVP and the unsung hero of this game is Captain Boomerang.
really? Yeah.
I felt like just his commentary on everything going on. I just felt like, yeah, I would be the same if this was going on. I'd be like, I'm out, stuff you all, like,
Maybe,
and
yeah.
him trying to cut everyone's finger off.
Oh yeah, that was weird.
Yeah.
Or he
Oh, we
cuts the
need his.
Flash's finger off, and then does he? I know he tries to cut Batman's finger off. Did he actually get any other ones in the Flash? I can't remember.
He tries to get the Green Lantern, and he also tries to get somebody else's too, but I won't spoil it to you.
Yeah. Oh, Brainiac. I'm
Yeah.
guessing. Well, it's like if you won't spoil it. Like I don't know, the only person I have left to fight is Brainiac.
Yeah.
So
He tries to take Brainiac, and everyone's looking at him like, why? And he's like, oh, we're gonna need his finger to get through all the doors on the ship.
yeah, no, I mean like the banter and stuff. Like I love the characters and stuff. Like I love that you get to play as these characters. It's just like I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, but it's just like it's just such a bizarre. It's like okay, so after the Arkham trilogy, like you do this, like I don't know, maybe a
Yeah.
Suicide Squad game, but maybe not where you're fighting the Justice League. It's just like because it's just like so much. It's like a 5 year gap, and it's just like which makes it really interesting. Going through that exhibit, what's so cool about it too, on top of the whole Arkham version, like inversion kind of thing, but like how it actually like walks you through that trilogy, and then on top of that
Yeah.
even kind of quickly explains basically what happened in really simple kind of fashion. So it's like okay, so Batman faked his death. That we all kind of knew that at the end of Arkham Knight, and then
Yeah.
he joined the Justice League, and so that was interesting to me. So it's like okay, so Batman wasn't even like a part of the Justice League in the Arkhamverse, I guess, in those games, and that all happened afterwards. But it kind of sucks. It's like so all that stuff happened, and then we just jump to when the Justice League is like turned evil, and we have to
Yeah.
kill them all.
Pretty much. But have you seen the rumor that the Justice League actually it's not the Justice League?
I haven't seen that. I heard something about like just recently about like throughout the 12 seasons or whatever that are coming for the live service part of the game that there's a chance that people are suspecting that they're gonna actually be resurrected, most of the Justice League over that. But
Yes, because there's I can't Arkham Files. I think it's a YouTube channel. Arkham Files. They put up a video where they found all these calendars throughout the map, and they've all got different date circles. And it's for Batman, of course. And then once you put it against the alphabet, it comes up saying he will return.
oh wow.
So that's one. And I was watching it how Brainiac says my Justice League. He doesn't, he says my Justice League repeatedly, and at the same time, Kryptonite didn't hurt Superman. The Green and what was something else? How Green Lantern's ring, I think, something like Green Lantern's ring, but it was just a couple other things that didn't seem to add up to why that would work. So there's a chance that Superman and the Flash.
Yeah, I guess. Right. I mean, it could be. Yes, there is a chance it could be like that. He brought them in from one of all the other universes. He's like,
yeah.
Is that what you mean? Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Like they're still somewhere, and they might come back. But yeah, I forgot to tell you too. Not only is the Suicide Squad Batman suit in Arkham Knight, but there's also the suit where he's all bloodied with the purple eyes is also in there too, apparently.
Oh, wow. I guess I saw a video of that. I thought my friend just sent me a video and he said he thought it was like a mod or something. And I'm like, oh, that would have been cool if it was actually a skin. But okay, so
yeah,
definitely going to try that out.
I think it's actually a skin.
Okay, that's pretty sick.
But it looks creepy. It looks creepy as shit.
Yeah. Do you have like a favorite suit or anything in Arkham Knight or anything like that? Because
mine's the Christian Bale and the actual Arkham suit. Arkham suit itself, I think, is such a clean cut suit, and the fact that every part interconnects. His chest piece, everything. And I actually did see someone posted, what are you doing this Valentine's Day? And it was just a picture of Batman Arkham Knight looking over Gotham City. It's like, this is what I'm doing for my Valentine's Day.
Hey, I just finished replaying it right before the Suicide Squad game. I've been replaying all that trilogy for
you have
a year, really, or really slowly back and forth among other things. But yeah, I just wanted to go through it all again and get not platinum it. I've never platinum a game, but I've gotten all the in-game 100% and all that, and then the new game plus and all that. So I've got all the Riddler stuff in all the games finally.
And there was more Riddler trophies in Suicide Squad. I was like, oh, of course he's back. Oh
yeah, honestly, I could have done without that, but also it's kind of fun.
Yeah, I was like, of course you survive a bloody alien invasion and put green question marks around the city. I'm like, of course you do. But sorry to actually go back again. I do agree with you as well, is that this game, with the story of it is now, that has made me want to continue on with this live service and to see the other characters pop in, because I don't know if you've seen it, but they've done a little post that shows what characters are coming soon that you can download. And we already know the joke is going to be, there's rumored that the next one's going to be Eleanor Frost. So Mr. Freeze's wife.
Nora. Yeah, Nora.
Sorry,
Freeze.
Nora. Sorry, Nora.
Yeah.
So she gets the suit. She becomes Mr. Freeze.
Okay, interesting. All I've seen is the clips of the Joker one, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know about this Joker.
No, neither do I. But the last one, I can't remember who they think the third one's going to be, but the fourth one looks to be Deathstroke.
Could be. I was so what's the twist, or is it?
I don't know.
Okay.
Could be female Deathstroke, but I'm like, Deathstroke in this game would be sick.
Yeah, although like they haven't like done a lot with the different fighting styles for the characters. They mostly just all like kind of shoot a gun mostly, and they have a bit of a melee. So I don't know how much.
Yeah. Who you been using the most?
Oh yeah, I've been Harley like pretty much the whole time.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, just because
I've been
again, I
King
mean,
Shark.
yeah, I did a bit with King Shark too. He's probably my second favorite to play as, but yeah, no, I think I was always just gonna, if I got to
Always
pick,
play
like play
Harley.
Harley because she's like again one of my like favorite. Yeah, she might be like my second favorite like comic book character after Batman even. So I'm conflicted on the fact that like I don't know if somebody from the squad had to kill him, then I guess like I'm happy it was her over the other ones.
It should have been her. Well, if anyone was going to kill him, it was going to be her. It was going to be her.
Yeah, it sort of seemed like it's weird because it sort of seems like they tried to like match each squad member up with like one of the Justice League members, like kind of, but maybe that's why they made Wonder Woman not turn, so it's like 4-on-4. But like Deadshot and Green Lantern, obviously, like he got the final blow on Green Lantern. I think did Captain Boomerang do the final blow on Flash, or I don't know if Flash and Superman if they really did that same like final kind of shot thing that they did on Green Lantern and Batman.
No, and Superman's fight was so annoying. Oh, it was like you jump over the wave that he does, and then you jump past the bomb that goes off, and then you try and jump away from the ice crystals that are exploding, and next minute you turn around, he's there with the giant tank to hit you. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, no, I was surprised. It only took me 2 tries for Superman, surprisingly, but it was. Yeah, I think that and the one that took me the most, maybe just because it was the first one, was the Flash. Actually, I thought he was pretty annoying.
Yeah.
Then some of them, there were a couple like Green Lantern and Batman. I got the first try.
For
The
me,
Batman
same
one
thing.
was like
Green Lantern,
especially
Batman.
easy, which was weird. I thought, or like the Batman one wasn't that much of
Yeah.
a challenge.
No. Oh, it was just creepy going through the cave and then all the statues
Yeah.
staring at you. That
So,
reminded me of Arkham Knight again.
yeah. I like how, so I guess since Arkham Knight he's been using the fear toxin, because I remember the first time I played Arkham Knight, I didn't really like get that that's what was happening at the end of Arkham Knight, you know, where you see like the very, very end.
Yeah.
It's like the demon bat or whatever. Okay, so he faked his death, but then basically he's still going out being Batman, but now he's using the fear toxin on people.
Yeah.
So I guess
the way I took it was that he wasn't being the Batman. He was just using the fear toxin on people. So instead of being a symbol and a light and everything, it'd be like there is something dark in the shadows that's even worse than Batman.
Okay, so you don't think it was like he was even going out and doing anything, just making him scared?
From the way I took the ending initially, yes, that's how like he wasn't being Batman full time. He wasn't like you weren't seeing Batman. He was just using the fear toxin on people to scare people to their core.
Yeah, because I mean, it's still not even like, well, like at the end of Arkham Knight, I guess he just like overcomes the fear toxin. Is it? I think it's he like became immune to it basically. I think maybe it's probably something to do with, I guess, the Joker being kind of like in his blood or whatever, maybe.
Maybe, yeah. Because you saw his eyes change.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't totally understand how he does that at the end of Arkham Knight, but I love it. It's like amazing when you're like kind of the final battle is all just kind of in his head. And then you have to like put the Joker into the cage, and he does his whole like famous like monologue like from the animated series.
I am vengeance. I am the knight.
Yeah, so it's like it's tough. Yeah, that's what I mean by it's a weird follow-up. I like the game, but it's like you go from like such a, as much as okay, sort of like fakes his death at the end, but you go from like this like really like triumphant, like yeah, like Batman's like he's not like being like taken over by the Joker, only for like 5 years later, then he's taken over by Brainiac.
Yeah.
It's
Rough.
like, oh, okay.
So
It was
rough.
like still like emotionally powerful how like he didn't let the Joker win.
They let Brainiac win.
And then Brainiac just
And that's another thing that I've seen people say is like, this can't be the Arkham Batman because he wouldn't let himself be taken over. So surely he's captive in a capsule or something somewhere.
I mean, it would certainly, I think, make people more forgiving of the game if that was the case.
Yes. Well, we still haven't seen the true ending.
The whole thing, I was just going to say the whole thing, like, even though whatever they do from this point on, I think they've just made as much as I'm enjoying the game, but, like, the story, they've just made, like, such a convoluted mess of what they've done with the Arkhamverse, no matter what they do.
Mm. Yeah.
So, yeah.
And look, there'll be people, same thing like with the Indiana Jones, franchise. They'll say, just the original, you got the original trilogy and then you've got this, but just play the original core trilogy of the Arkham games, and that's all you need.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'd throw I'd say Origins is also worth it, even with it not being Rocksteady. It's a pretty good start to the.
Oh, it is. They did such a good job, and I wish it was in that remastered pack. I really wish.
Okay, so it is. I haven't played it yet on there, but it is on PlayStation Plus Premium.
Well, it is. Is it?
Yeah, that and I think Arkham Knight is also, but yeah.
Oh, I might go back.
Actually, just recently, I haven't really gotten into it yet, but just a few months ago, I probably want to replay Origins first again, but. You know how I actually still have my PlayStation Vita from like a decade ago. And I still use it the odd time. And I finally picked up that like Batman Arkham Origins Blackgate game, which I heard wasn't that great, but it's like a direct follow-up to Origins. And it's like the first meeting of Batman and Catwoman in that universe. So yeah, I'm excited to go to that at some point too.
Oh, that'd be good. I never played that. I liked Origins. I don't. To me, it fits in the entire series perfectly.
Yeah, like I did hear there's
such a good job.
There's a few like contradictions to how like Joker and Harley meet. I think in the other games it says they met in Arkham, but then in that game they meet in Blackgate. But I mean, and then there's also even now like with this game, it's sort of like made that animated movie. The Assault on Arkham, I guess that's like not canon now.
Yeah, we were talking about that. Like, yeah, that's out the door, isn't it?
Because in this game it's clearly like, okay, it's like this is their first time being in the Suicide Squad. They didn't know Amanda Waller before this, right?
Yeah.
And that movie was supposed to take place before Arkham Asylum.
Yeah, so it doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't gel at all with that one.
Yes, it doesn't at all. And then Deathstroke. Deathstroke is what?
Oh well, no, but but he's also in the Arkham games, and that is like explained, like that
he kills him.
Yeah, I don't know. I still don't know how I feel about that. But even now, I've heard theories also that maybe he wasn't really an imposter, but he was not the Deathstroke not Deadshot in Arkham City, and I think he's in Origins too, right? That he was maybe actually a Deadshot from another universe now that they're getting into the multiverse stuff, and somehow he came to that universe before even Brainiac was doing stuff.
Oh my god.
I don't know. Yeah, to me it's just like annoying because it's like, okay, if you're gonna make a Suicide Squad game in the Arkhamverse, like use the versions of the characters that you've already set up. That's what gives it weight. That's why I was like easily like, aside from her being my favorite character, like, okay, Harley's the only one you've really like gotten to know in the Arkhamverse. So like, yeah, she's the one I'm excited to play as.
Yeah. I think there's probably mentions about King Shark somewhere or allude to. Same thing with Captain Boomerang, like on a poster or something, but that's about it.
But like, I almost would have said like, even though I loved King Shark, like, I don't know, maybe they should have gone the route of like a Killer Croc or something because he was in the Arkham games, you know?
Yeah. Well, remember in the Arkham game, he was like a monster beast.
Giant. Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
Would it have been cool to play as him?
Well, that's true. The missions would have been a lot shorter. Moving on to the next thing is X-Men. Which random trailer that we got? We got the X-Men 97 trailer, which will be season 6 of the 90s TV show, which looks utterly crisp. What was your initial reaction in watching the trailer?
So I guess just for a little context, I'm actually just over the past year or so, I've been kind of like slowly going through the original series because I don't know, I'd only really seen bits of it when I was younger. I don't really remember growing up with it as much as I did, like, say, like Batman the animated series or even the Spider-Man one. Like, I remember those two more. But I've been going through that and also the Spider-Man one to like actually trying to watch them in order. Also, I do have to say they really need to, like, with X-Men and maybe Clone Wars on Disney Plus, like, just put them in chronological order because they're not. And it's really annoying trying to find out which episode you're supposed to watch.
I know.
So yeah, I think it looks cool. It's nice that they kind of updated the look a bit, but it still feels in line with that original show. And I'm curious to see where it goes. But yeah, to me, I feel like I might be in the minority on this, but to me, I've always been more like X-Men to me has always been more like the live action movies and stuff with Hugh Jackman and all that original cast. Like, that's the version of X-Men I'm more connected with than the animated one. But I'm excited to see them kind of merge in a way where maybe we'll get some of the same actors back, like Hugh Jackman, but like with more of like this aesthetic.
No, I agree with you. And look, to be honest, I completely forgot there was 5 seasons of that original 90s show. When I looked on Disney Plus, I was like, God, I thought it was like 3, but there's actually 5. And I think it's strange because, as you mentioned about the original X-Men, is watching the trailer, I'm like, that's right, Cyclops is the leader. He is the leader of the X-Men, but you wouldn't know that pretty much
from the live action ones.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I don't know. I don't blame them though for promoting kind of Wolverine to the lead. I don't know. I mean,
not at all.
I'm fine with that. Wolverine's a cooler character. I'm sorry.
Yeah. You don't want to. Who wants a movie about the Boy Scout?
Yeah, I mean, it can. I don't dislike Cyclops in those movies even, or at least like in the original ones. Like, I think James Marsden's pretty good. I know it's not like the most exciting character, but like I actually like Hugh Jackman's obviously the standout, but I really like the whole original X-Men cast, and I'm kind of hoping we'll talk about that in the Deadpool trailer, but yeah, kind of hoping we see some of them again.
Yeah, I'm hoping so too. And I was saying this to a friend. I think someone was asking me the other day. I was like, "Oh, why did they make another season to this show? It's because it's so old." And I was saying to them, is like, I think this is a great idea for them to make a season 6 of this show, because the 90s TV show is one of the purest forms of the X-Men. Entails, the Dark Phoenix, Apocalypse, Days of Future Past. It's all in that. And I think it's a great way for audiences to get to X-Men, why the MCU transitions to bringing the X-Men into the MCU.
Yeah, no, I feel like they're like really trying to like really like ease us into the X-Men, and they're trying to like, they're gonna like maybe bring back all the old versions before we get the MCU versions, just to like kind of give them like a send off maybe, or at least Hugh Jackman. I don't know how many of the other ones will come back. I'm nervous to get my expectations too high with that.
Just settle on some of them.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, no, I mean, yeah, no, I'm excited to really like follow this season as it comes out, and I think it'll be a nice change of pace for Disney Plus Marvel shows that's like not tied to the MCU really.
Yeah, I agree. And I love the fact that they've kept it the aesthetic very similar to the original show. It just really looks like they've just remastered it, the cleaner version.
Yeah, well, I guess I guess, and it's it's not gonna be like the original show. I'm guessing was probably still like hand drawn.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
would have been.
literally on paper. I mean, this might be hand drawn, I think too, but but on a Cintiq or whatever.
Yeah.
Whereas, so it's gonna have a different look. In some ways, yeah, it looks cleaner, but I don't know. I feel like I do think I don't know. I'm with like 2D animation. I do kind of always prefer that before they went digital a bit, but but yeah, no, I'm hoping it's like a bit easier to follow is what I would say, because even as a comic book guy, I'm always like very lost a lot of episodes in that original series. I like the characters, but the plots get so what the hell is happening sometimes.
Isn't the first 2 episodes Days of Future Past?
Is it? I don't think so. I think it's like involving the Sentinels, but I don't think Days of Future Past comes in till a bit later. I think it's like Night of the Sentinels or something, but I don't think it's Days of Future Past.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, sorry. Yeah, the season's 2-part episode Night of the Sentinel features the Mutant Registration Act, which it was first used in Days of Future Past. Okay, no, it wasn't. Yeah, so it was that.
So I mean, I don't know. I like the show, but I'm not quite as invested in it as some people. But yeah, I'm kind of I'm excited. I'm excited to see what they do differently with this version of it. Because it's kind of what do you think about them doing it as a new show? Because sometimes when they bring back shows, it'll actually be just another season, versus sometimes it's it's a sequel series. There's not even really a difference, but for some reason they choose to do that sometimes. I guess it's just been so long. So
yeah. I think it's good for them to do this as a season 6, because you're gonna get all those like us aged coming back to the show, and you're gonna get old fans going back and watching the original show. And sometimes when people say, "Oh, this is a sequel show," sometimes people might be like, "Oh, this is gonna be crap. They're gonna change things and everything like that," So I think they've done a good idea being this as a season 6, and even at the end, like the little clip at the end with Magneto, seems so different because nothing but we've seen Magneto fight Charles, all for the X-Men, all for battling each other for the rights of mutants, blah blah blah.
Yeah. So I guess it seems like he might even be sort of leading them, possibly.
Something like that, yeah. Because I know Charles dies. Well, spoilers for a show that's over 20 years old. Charles.
I mean,
dies.
the trailer spoils it. So
yeah, and I loved the poster too that they did. How it was like VHS tapes.
Yeah,
I thought,
it was pretty cool. I'm really sad my VHS player stopped working not too long ago, because I still have all my VHSs, and I still a lot of movies, especially animated ones from when I was younger, I only like to watch them on VHS. The Disney Plus version, it's too bright and clean. I don't know. I don't get the same nostalgia hit.
It's too crisp.
Yeah, it doesn't do it for me.
Yeah, no, that's fair. And when I was watching the trailer, when I heard that old theme, I'm like, that takes me back to Saturday mornings, watching it and going, oh, Beast and all of them. That kind of took me back.
Yeah. So is that would you say that's your favorite kind of on-screen version of the X-Men so far?
I think it's the most purest comic to TV show adaptation of the X-Men. But okay. I'm still the same with you. Like me, James Marston, all of them. That's the X-Men to me.
Yeah.
That's my X-Men, because at that era with Tobey Maguire, X-Men, and Fantastic Four, that's my era.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, I mean, Hugh Jackman's arguably, probably he's really in contention with Robert Downey Jr. as maybe the most iconic superhero casting, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. And I'm pretty sure he's will be in the Guinness Book of Records. Sorry, he is in the Guinness Book of Records for the longest person to betray a character.
Oh wow. Sorry, I'm not sure. My light just like went out. I'm just gonna try to fix it.
Yeah.
I can
No,
keep
it's all
talking
right.
though.
Yeah, it's all
Sorry
right.
about that.
I just saw your face just go.
I don't know why it like does that sometimes.
Yeah.
It's like plugged
So
in
for
still. And then...
anyone who's just listening, we've kind of gone podcast dark mode at the moment.
It's always if I can't fix it, I'll just keep talking like this for now. I don't want it to go on too long like this, but yeah, I'll just try to fix it.
No, that's all right. So
I'm just gonna leave it unplugged for a bit and keep talking. See if it comes back.
What did you think about the Fantastic Four casting?
Oh yeah, so that man, crazy week.
That's what I mean. It's what I mean.
Yeah, so I mean, we kind of knew Pedro for a while, or I guess all of them to some extent, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have enough like investment really in the Fantastic Four per se, like because even I don't know, none of the movies are like that great, right?
No.
Like I mean, and then even like I don't know, I can't say I've read a whole lot of their comics. Like whereas like X-Men, I'm gonna have probably more opinions when they like bring in MCU versions because kind of like Spider-Man stuff, you know, those they actually I think most of the X-Men movies at least were actually like pretty good, you know, so I'm actually invested. Whereas like Fantastic Four, I actually did like them when I was younger, but they haven't like held up when I've gone back to them the way like the X-Men movies have. So I mean Pedro, I love him. I don't know, he's kind of in everything though, so I don't know. I want to see if he's like actually a good fit or not.
I did see was it someone did the whole Thanos putting the last Infinity Stone in the Quantic Glove, and it was Pedro Pascal with Marvel Universe. He had Game of Thrones, DC, Star Wars, and something else. And he's like the Marvel one. He's like, I've got all of them.
Yeah, no, that's he's he's in everything. Yeah, I mean, and yeah, that's not even mentioning like The Last of Us, which is maybe his best.
Yeah, sorry, The Last of Us too. Yep.
I mean, I go back and forth between like it's both of his HBO shows really where I'm like I think he was like giving his best kind of performance between like that and Game of Thrones. Even though he has only limited amount of episodes in Game of Thrones, he's like such a memorable character.
He is, and I think he's a good choice for Mr. Fantastic. I think he'll do really good as the role. And I think Vanessa Kirby. I think same with Jessica Alba. I think she's going to do great as Sue Storm.
Yeah, I mean, she probably seems like of all of them, she probably seems like the most obvious.
Yeah, most like fan casting.
Yeah, like the other two, I don't know. I really don't have much of an opinion on the other two. Like I've seen Stranger Things and a little bit of The Bear, but I mean, I don't know. I don't really have a strong opinion on them, to be honest. I mean, like, yeah, I don't know, because it's not like even I don't even think. I think the only one I probably even ever thought about fan casting myself was probably Invisible Woman, just because I'm like, well, I mean, Margot Robbie's right there.
Yeah, she was the other
been in Marvel yet.
Yeah,
but I mean, Harley Quinn. So,
and she's a great Harley Quinn. She set the bar so high. But from we've just got the casting, but the poster alone indicates to me the fact that it's going to be based in the 1960s, which is really good because that's when I think the comic did start. Two, I can't remember the name, but the little robot too. It looks like we're going to get the little robot from the comics as well.
I guess I haven't really read Fantastic Four comics. I'm not even familiar with the robot.
No, it's all right.
I've read a number of I've read quite a few of the 60s Spider-Man, right from the start, but I guess, I haven't gotten around to Fantastic Four yet.
Oh, what do you mean you haven't read Marvel's First Family?
I think I have the first volume. I just haven't opened it up yet, but I've gone through 5 volumes of Spider-Man. That's with Marvel, I think I actually like some of their older stuff the best comic-wise, and with DC, with DC's older stuff, it's like a little too old, like from the 30s and 40s. Like Batman doesn't even feel like Batman yet. Then
it's hard to read because it's a different time.
yeah, I mean the 60s ones though are too, and I think that's like probably my favorite version of Spider-Man. Honestly, those 60s comics. Like I have the Funko of the 60s version.
Oh, you do too. In your dark room.
Oh yeah, okay. I don't know. I think sometimes once the light goes off, it just sort of like when I unplug and plug it back in, it just like doesn't let me turn it on for a bit. So I'm just gonna leave it a bit and hopefully I'll I'm just gonna hold it here so I can like keep trying off and on without ducking down.
It's all right.
Sorry,
it's all right.
Annoying.
No, don't stress. But yeah, so the working theory at the moment is that they'll this will be based in the 1960s. They will know Hank Pym from this. They're gonna be integrated with the Pym. They're gonna get their powers at the end of the movie. For some reason, they either go through the quantum realm somehow, and they pop out in modern day.
Yeah, it feels like I don't know, immediately what I think of that is, I don't know about you, but it's like, man, well, that was a missed opportunity to set them up then in Quantum Mania.
Yeah, that too. But don't worry, Marvel will explain more why we've never heard of Fantastic Four, why we've never heard of Doctor Doom ever. But for some reason, here's this bad guy, and Latveria, is it Latveria?
I think something like that.
Yeah, is a country, and Marvel's never mentioned about it.
Yeah, that's the problem with when they keep expanding.
Yeah. That's that's the last I did hear was there was one rumor going around that so the plot for Captain America 4 is that it's going to become an arms race for people who are trying to get onto Internal's head, because apparently if you mine the Internal's head, it's not vibranium, and Wolverine's claws. Apparently that's the metal they discover inside the head. And then countries are going to try and obtain that. And apparently, rumor is that one of those countries will be Latveria that wants to try and get that material.
Okay, that's an interesting way to go about it.
Name drop.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm curious, definitely, like how they're. Sorry, so where did you say they're going to be mining? What they find Wolverine's metal?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, adamantium, right? Because that's different than the vibranium.
Yes, they're going to be that when they mine the head, that's the material that will come out, and because it's going to be like.
Okay. It took me a sec to connect the celestial. Yeah. Okay, got it.
Yeah, the celestial. It's going to be because obviously vibranium is all in Wakanda. It's going to become an arms race to get this new material stronger than. Hey, here we go. It's going to be an arms race to get this new material that can fight vibranium.
Okay, that's actually interesting. That makes me more excited for Captain America 4, honestly. Because right now, aside from Deadpool, I can't say I'm like really that excited for any MCU stuff. I don't know.
I know. I've had this conversation with a lot of people. Like I'm at the two, I would say I'm more excited for Thunderbolts and Cap. Because that's gonna be different.
I'd say Fantastic Four I'm more excited for than both of them.
Well, I am now. But still, that's 2020. I said, oh, that's right.
It's 2025, right? That's not too far.
No, sorry. 2025, Fantastic Four is going up against Superman Legacy. They're coming out the same week.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Yeah, so it's going to be super-tastic. Legacy 4.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of one. I don't really have anything off the top of my head. I don't know.
Super fan.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely curious how that's going to go. As of right now, I don't know. I guess what do you think's going to triumph at the box office? It's really hard to say at this point. It's so far off.
If we were talking pre-Endgame, Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four, without a shadow of a doubt, will wash away Superman Legacy. But post-Endgame, Legacy might... actually, no. I think it'll still be... I still think Fantastic Four will make more money than Legacy. Just because... the build-up to this, I feel like, is a lot bigger for Fantastic Four.
I get what you mean. Yeah, no, I think as of right now, based on not having any trailers or anything, I think I'd agree with you. But I think, like, depending how trailers and stuff go and all that and people's responses, I think that could turn the tide.
Oh, 100%.
Also,
because
I was just going to say it also depends how the other MCU stuff, especially is leading up to Fantastic Four. Like, if if it keeps being, like, just not that great, then that'll hurt it. Whereas with Superman, that's the start. So I don't think it really has the same kind of baggage. You know what I mean?
No, it doesn't. And because the gap between, I feel like, because between Aquaman 2 and Superman Legacy, I'm not counting the Joker, I feel like there's a big enough gap that people might, like, wash away the pain of the DCEU, and they might look at this with completely fresh eyes.
Yeah. Also, like, I think you can't discount the fact that, like, it is a Superman movie. You know, there hasn't been a Superman movie in over a decade.
I know. We were meant to get Man of Steel 2. We should have got 3. We should have got 4.
Yeah, I mean, I like all of the, like, stuff Zack Snyder did, like that he actually did, not the Justice League. But I mean, yeah, it would have been nice to even get a bit more with Henry Cavill before. I don't know. I'm conflicted though. I kind of like how Batman v Superman is, like, sort of a very, like, kind of different way they were able to set up the universe. I think it could have worked. I think it was them getting cold feet after the, like...
Yeah, it was. And Warner Brothers just...
Because, like, it didn't make $1 billion, but, like, it made, like, 800-something million. I mean, I get why maybe when it's Batman and Superman, you think, okay, if it doesn't make $1 billion, then that's a problem. And, like, sure, but at the same time, like... Man, they would have been... DC would be so happy to make that kind of money now. Like, after the year they had no idea what was coming. If they thought Batman v Superman was bad. Box office.
I know.
That was like a big hit for them in hindsight.
It was. Now look, everything post that.
Yeah, I mean, well, you've got Aquaman. I guess that's crazy. That's, like, the biggest DC movie, not even just biggest DCEU movie. I think it's, like, #1 period, even above, like, the Nolan Batmans or Joker.
I think it could be over Joker, not the Nolan films, but I know their most successful.
I know it's definitely DCEU. Over. It's definitely over The Dark Knight. I'm not sure if it's over Dark Knight Rises.
No.
No, because Dark Knight, you gotta remember, that was 15 years ago, so it was like the first comic book movie to make $1 billion. But now it's, like, I think if you look at the $1 billion club, it's, like, right at the bottom. It's, like, the lowest amount to hit over $1 billion. I think
that still is, like, a perfect 10 on everything, though.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, it's just, but I mean, it was 15 years ago, inflation and all that. I'm pretty sure Aquaman is, like, the #1. Like, thing DC has put out, period. Like, if you're just by today's numbers,
I'll have to have a look.
Which is all the more baffling how the sequel was, like, one of their biggest bombs.
I know. It's
crazy just how they were to, like, drop the ball so hard. Like, they sort of, like, kept finding their footing and then keep, like, kind of, like, still messing it up somehow.
Yeah, they still do all the time. Just don't know what they're doing. So I'm hoping that James Gunn just saves the DCU. But I do like for Superman Legacy that they're taking the Spider-Man homecoming approach.
Where
In
it's
a
not an
sense,
origin story.
yeah, it's not an origin story. Here's the Man of Steel. We get it. Farm Boy, Crash. Yes means hope, even though hope starts with a H. Just get straight into it.
Is that, I can't remember though. Is that like a thing outside of like the Snyderverse that the S means hope? I mean, I know Superman is a beacon of hope, obviously, but like, I mean, does the S literally mean hope in anything outside of like the DCU? I'm not sure. It might. I don't know. Doesn't really matter. But
I don't think so, but I think the S is still the family crest.
Yeah,
it might not mean hope, but it's still a family crest in the DCEU lore.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm back and forth on even like how they're starting the DCU. To be honest, I hope it's a success, but also like, it is weird, right? How they're like kind of still being a little coy on if it's like a tiny bit connected to the DCEU. Like with Peacemaker season 2, like how's that gonna work?
Peacemaker season 2, Beetlejuice. I mean, Blue Beetle.
Yeah. Well, Blue Beetle is a little less murky. They're just saying, okay, it's the same actor, but the movie's not canon, probably.
Yeah, but you don't have to tell his origin story again.
I guess. I don't know. I don't even see them making another Blue Beetle movie. I think they might just put him in other movies as like a side character.
Yeah, I don't think we need another Blue Beetle movie. I'm pretty content that we don't get that.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was weird how much I thought it was fine, but it was weird to me how much some people like thought that movie was like great or something, and I'm like, it wasn't that great.
Nah,
I mean,
went with
even just of the DC movies alone last year, like I know it's like not a popular opinion, but I think even with its flaws, I think Flash was easily the best one of last year. No,
I put Aquaman 2 above Flash.
Really? I didn't mind Aquaman 2, but like I don't know. To me, like it was like no competition. I thought the Flash was like the only one with like an interesting story, character arc, all that.
It did. It just.
I'm not saying it like totally nailed it, but like I think compared to everything else, like all the other ones just felt like kind of comic book movie noise. That one felt like it had an interesting premise, and
they still screwed it up.
Huh?
The Flash still screwed it up.
I think it's a pretty good movie, though. Honestly, like I don't think it's amazing, but I think it's pretty good.
It was the baby going in the microwave scene that got you, wasn't it? That was what you were like, yeah.
I mean, it was funny. Yeah, the CGI. Okay, worst CGI of any DC movie last year, but I don't know. That's not really what like makes or breaks the movie for me.
No, and I will say all the scenes with Batfleck were great.
Yeah,
everything he shoved up was great.
Yeah, and I don't know.
I love Michael Keaton.
Sorry.
I love Michael Keaton. I thought he did great in there too.
Yeah, no, I love the Michael Keaton stuff. I think this isn't like a criticism on Ben Affleck in the movie, but more like some of his scenes actually were maybe some of my least favorite parts of the movie because that's where I don't know. I did not like the way his suit looked.
No.
His new suit, the Ben Affleck,
a blue.
Yeah, but it had like a weird cage around it. I don't know. It just looked strange. And then
the
scene with Wonder Woman, and they do like that lasso joke again.
I know that was so cringe.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. I'm like, I didn't love that stuff. That was actually probably my least favorite part of the movie.
All right, I'll get that scene. Yes,
but no, I liked all the Michael Keaton stuff. I really liked Supergirl, but this is probably the part that's gonna get me the most hate. But I think the best part of the movie is Ezra Miller.
Oh, God, okay.
Nothing about him as a person, but like I think he gives like a really good performance in that movie, like as the two different Barrys.
It's not terrible, but I rate Supergirl above him.
I mean, I don't have anything bad to say about Supergirl, but I think just because the movie was surrounding him, I think he had the most like emotional scenes. Him and Michael Keaton.
Of course he did. but it was just, yeah.
I know, I know.
His
People.
career is dead. His career is dead.
Oh no, I know. I'm not denying that. I'm just saying. But at the end of the day, I thought he was good in the movie. I thought he kind of like. I don't know. Like that's another reason why I think the Flash was easily like the best one they put out last year, because I just think it had the most compelling story emotionally and stuff. And yeah, I liked him as the Flash. I don't know.
No. I can completely understand.
I don't
And
think
like,
I actually did initially in the theatrical Justice League. I thought he was just kind of annoying in that, but I think since the Snyder cut just made me like really invested in that whole Justice
oh,
League cast.
he was so good in the Snyder cut.
And you know
So
another thing I love
good.
about the Flash, I think it's the only movie post like Justice League that actually, I think it's sort of like
Connect.
subtly it implies that no, it implies that like all the other ones treated the theatrical cut as the canon version, whereas the Flash actually references the Snyder cut. Like they mention when he runs back in time, and that only
Yeah.
happened in the Snyder cut. So like I think that even though tonally it probably still feels more like the theatrical cut, but like I think that's kind of cool. It's sort of like the one movie after Justice League that maybe you could consider part of the Snyderverse.
Yeah. I agree. And I'm there's a whole rant I can go into about the
I know.
Snyder cut.
That was like the
Uh,
most anticipated movie last year, though. I was that guy.
no, I love the Snyder cut. I wish we got the Snyder cut originally. I remember watching the Flash scene and thinking, why did we not get this? But we got him saving some Russian family. Like, who was the brilliant person going, yeah, we're not going to have him go back in time in this really cool scene. Let him just save people.
Yeah, no, I mean it's yeah, I could go on all day. Sorry, I managed to make the Fantastic Four section about the DCU somehow.
That's all right. That's all right. We led that because of the fight. But speaking of obviously the new Fantastic Four logo, and this concluding this week, not between Fantastic Four and X-Men, we got the first trailer for Deadpool and Wolverine is the working title. And this was only, would you say it's a teaser or a trailer?
I mean, it's a teaser trailer.
Yeah, teaser trailer.
I mean, it's a full trailer, if that's what you mean.
Yeah, yes. Sorry, full trailer. I'd say a full trailer to it. And for me, the weirdest thing is seeing him in the MCU. I'm like, this is wild.
Yeah, it's wild, but like a venue, like I always kind of like felt like we were always like kind of like just on the verge of this happening since the first Deadpool movie, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
wasn't there even like isn't that first, like I know it wasn't in the MCU, but like didn't they just for some reason have like the helicarriers from the Avengers were like just kind of in the first Deadpool movie in that final battle?
They were.
I mean, not that that's like really explained, but I mean, just I don't know. It always felt like they're kind of like just. I mean,
you could drop him in.
Even before Deadpool, I was kind of always like kind of waiting. Like, okay, so when is like I don't know. To me, the Fox universe, I actually didn't. I didn't really think that the Spider-Man universes until No Way Home, like became a thing, and we knew that was going to happen. Like I actually always predicted the Fox kind of stuff would intersect with the MCU long before any of the Spider-Man stuff. Just because I thought, okay, well, if you're gonna like do multiverse stuff ever, like the only other one that's like a full kind of universe is like the Fox X-Men stuff, right? It's not just a trilogy or something. They've got like a whole universe
Days of Future Past
with really bad continuity, but I mean, they could probably explain that all away somehow.
Yeah. They could. What was your initial reaction after watching this trailer?
So my initial reaction, I thought I really liked it, and I was like, I don't know. I know some people were like I don't know. I don't think I was let down, but I was like, oh, okay, we don't get to see Hugh Jackman. Not really. That was sort of me like, but at the same time, like, yeah, no, I think it was after I like digested it for a few minutes, I'm like, okay, no, this seems like kind of the right way to go about the first trailer for it, because I mean, it's sort of like teasing us the way it really would supposed to be teasing us if we didn't see all of the leaked set photos and stuff, which I mean, even though Ryan Reynolds I think leaked some, we're not really supposed to see that stuff. So it's probably
No.
better that they don't like just kind of give in to, because of that they're going to show us too much too early.
Yeah, I don't think they need to. And like I don't think we need to see Wolverine in this trailer at all. Like we know who's going to rock up. We know what he looks like. We don't really need to see him in this trailer. We probably will see him in the next one. That will come out in like 2 months. But this trailer broke massive records.
Yeah,
like
it's the biggest one ever, right?
Yeah, it beat No Way Home. It beat, I think it beat Endgame too.
Yeah, that definitely like kind of surprised me. Like that it beat No Way Home, especially.
Yeah, it beat all of them. I'm just bringing up the statistics.
Because I don't see this like making as much money as No Way Home.
Oh, no. Oh, it could. Yeah, so Deadpool Wolverine, 365 million views in 24 hours. So it beat No Way Home, it beat Endgame trailer 1 and 2, and it beat Infinity War. So No Way Home had 355 million in 24 hours. Deadpool's had 365 million.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just like No Way Home made like almost 2 billion.
Yeah.
Like I think this one, it's still, I'd say it's pretty much a lock for $1 billion, but at the same time, like I don't think you can like guarantee that because it's not like the first Deadpool's made $1 billion.
No.
You know? And
no,
and also really, I think Joker's still the only R-rated movie to hit $1 billion.
Yes, that's
yeah.
right.
So if this hits $1 billion, it would only be the second R-rated movie ever to do that.
Yes.
So, but I do, as much as that makes it sound like it won't, I do think it will. But you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. I agree with you. I think it will. I think not only, I think it will hit $1 billion for 2 reasons. One, because it's Hugh Jackman, it's Ryan Reynolds, it's Deadpool. But the other reason why I think it will hit $1 billion is because this is the only MCU movie this year. So every MCU fan is gonna be seeing this. It's not like, oh, I'll miss this, and like last year, like I'll miss Guardians of the Galaxy, which if you did, you're an idiot. But I'll, Ant-Man's around the corner, or the Marvels is coming out. I'm like, no, like this is you have to see this. This is it.
Yeah, no, I think it's gonna be like it already feels like it's gonna be like, yeah, the biggest event like Marvel's put out since No Way Home, like easily.
Oh, yep. This
like,
is literally this is Deadpool No Way Home. Oh, this is Deadpool No Way Jackman.
I guess, yeah, it's like I'm hoping it's like Fox X-Men No Way Home, but I also don't want to like, I don't know. I do have to like, I'm just thinking back to Doctor Strange too, you know?
I know. Don't
And
have
you know
to.
what? And I
Don't have
actually
too
really,
much.
I really like that movie.
So
I
do
think
I.
it was like really
I don't
entertaining.
think it shouldn't have got as much hype as it did.
Yeah, like I get the like it's not like a great script or anything. It is a bit of a mess, but in terms of like, I don't know, I really enjoyed it all the times I saw it. Like in terms of Phase 4, it's not like, or Phase 4 and 5, like it's not quite at the top, but it's like it's one of the better ones, I thought, if anything.
Yeah, Wanda was the MVP in that movie.
Yeah, exactly. Like I think she was one of the best villains of the whole MCU in that movie.
She was.
Like she was actually like scary, you know?
Yeah, she'll kill you. She'll straight up murder you to get to those kids.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was. Yeah, no, I like, yeah, I think, yeah, mainly it was her that made the movie as like awesome as I think it was, but yeah, I mean, I was like, I didn't let my expectations like make me dislike the movie as much as I feel like some people did.
And I think that's. Oh, sorry, keep going.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, but at the same time, yeah, I was a little disappointed that there wasn't like more stuff, because I think we were all just like conditioned from No Way Home, like, oh, okay, now this, I don't know, I kind of thought No Way Home was gonna be like, it was really ended up being the other way around, and No Way Home was really the big thing, but I kind of thought No Way Home was gonna be like a setup for Multiverse of Madness that was going to be even crazier.
No, other way around.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's what I'm saying. But
Yeah.
I don't know, just from the title, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it
Well,
seems like, okay, like Spider-Man's a multiverse movie, but like Doctor Strange 2, that's going to be like the multiverse movie. And I thought,
yeah.
okay, Hugh Jackman's coming in. Like, we're getting that now, but you know, that's sort of what it seemed like. Although I think right before I saw it, I did temper my expectations a lot more than I was for a while, because I think the big thing, and it's going to be similar with Deadpool 3, I think like as soon as I saw the runtime for Doctor Strange 2, I'm like, oh, it's only like 2 hours long.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, okay, there's only so much they can do in that. Like Spider-Man was close to 2.5.
Mm.
And I don't know, I'm a little concerned Deadpool 3 is gonna be like not long enough. Like if it's not like 2 hours 20 minutes at least, I'm gonna be like
Worried.
nervous. You know what I mean? Like, because I feel
Yeah.
like with this kind of movie, you need like a lot of time.
To digest everything. You know, I agree with you, and I know a lot of people, and I feel like I was in the minority. I know a lot of people are submitting their expectations. I know people saw this and weren't excited for it because they're like, you know, everything that's happened with the MCU at the moment, and I get it. You know, we have been hurt before. We've been hurt by the movies like the Marvels. My hope, which I've been telling everyone into this, is look, Hugh Jackman's going to be in this. Ryan Reynolds has got his hands well into this project. So, and, you know, Kevin Feige, which I think a lot of people do forget, Kevin Feige is a fan at the end of the day. This is how he's built everything because at the end of first and foremost, he's a fan. And I have no doubt that, you know, what they've crafted, if Ryan Reynolds is happy, Hugh Jackman's happy, the fact that Hugh Jackman's come back, the script must be good. The story must be good if they've both gone, we're coming back to do this.
Yeah, I think it is a bit telling that they actually. And at first, I didn't like the title honestly, but I've gotten used to it already. Even though it's weird because Wolverine's the part I'm most excited for, yet for some reason I didn't like that it wasn't just called Deadpool 3. I don't know. I thought like, okay, Deadpool 2 was Deadpool 2. Just make this Deadpool 3.
Yeah,
but
because Marvel doesn't do numbers anymore.
I guess, yeah. I guess maybe it's also maybe they don't want to, like, since it is sort of the first one the Marvel Studios is doing, they don't want to kind of make it seem like it is a continuation of these other movies, even though it totally is.
Yes, without Domino or
because maybe when you see like
Maybe.
MCU like lists of all the MCU movies, I guess it'll look weird if there's like Deadpool 3, but then there's no like Deadpool 1 and 2 in there.
Yeah, exactly right. Like, where's the other two?
Yeah, so like, I mean, and I think maybe that's a good sign in terms of like, because I'm still back and forth on like, okay, how much is this really going to be the crazy multiverse movie we want, or how much is it just going to really still be a Deadpool movie?
Mm.
And like
Well,
the fact that they put Wolverine in the title, maybe that is a sign that, okay, this is more than a Deadpool movie. Because I think Doctor Strange 2, people were expecting to be more than a Doctor Strange movie, and it was ultimately a Doctor Strange movie.
It was. Well, this is meant to be like a buddy cop movie between the two, and I've heard it's meant to be a Deadpool saves the MCU and Deadpool kills the Fox universe.
Yeah, that's how
because something's happening.
I think this is like, yeah, the final send off of the Fox universe, but
yeah,
I'm just hoping that it's like a satisfying one, because I don't know. I know they're not as popular maybe as like the Spider-Man movies and stuff, but like I feel like if we're doing this, like I feel like the Fox universe like deserves the same kind of like proper like kind of celebration in the MCU, since they're doing the multiverse stuff, that the Spider-Man movies got. Because again, that's their biggest like, that's, and not in terms of money maybe, but like that's the biggest like universe of Marvel outside of the MCU in movies, like by far.
Yes. I think they will do that too. I think this will be closing that chapter on that universe to get ready for the new MCU X-Men, and it will be a send-off, and it will also be another send-off for Hugh Jackman, but this will also leave for Deadpool to be in Secret Invasion and pop up more in the MCU.
Secret Wars. Or just,
Sorry,
yeah,
Secret.
I
Sorry,
always
Secret
do the
Wars.
same thing.
Yeah, sorry, Secret Wars for him to pop up more often. And I, again, obviously Marvel must have full faith in this because and Disney that they've given this a full trigger of this being R-rated.
Yeah, and I guess, do you think, but also isn't like the rumor that Hugh Jackman this might not be his last time either?
Yeah, I've heard that too. And look, if anything, I would do after this. If he rocks up in Secret Wars, I'm happy, but I don't want to see him anymore. He should be something like a sparing thing. Like I don't want to see him rock up in any more MCU stuff. Just if he's on the battlefield for Secret Invasion, I'm still going to be in the theater and be like, he's with Iron Man. He's talking to everybody. Like I'll still be excited.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's why I'm wondering though, like if it's not really the full send off for Hugh Jackman, then I at least want it to be like really like the send off for all the other original X-Men. So like, I don't know, do you want to like predict who you think's going to show up or not? Like I know this is exactly what is dangerous with the expectations, but yeah, so he's in it.
Yeah, Pyro actually was the I didn't even think about Pyro in it when I saw
I didn't like even recognize him until I
neither
found
did
out
I. Neither did I. I was like, oh shit. Look, I think Cyclops will be in it. James Marsden, I think he will be in it. I know I think Channing Tatum's Gambit was going to be in it. There's a whole rumor that
stuff like the Gambit thing, like that doesn't excite me because that's not like that was what he was supposed to play that role, and then I don't know. I don't know. I just want like the original X-Men team and maybe like some of the first class ones, but mainly the originals.
I think James Marsden will rock up as Cyclops. I think maybe Jean Grey will rock up.
You think?
Maybe.
I know that's actually the one I'm like most wanting personally. Famke Janssen is Jean Grey to come back.
Yeah.
Just because.
Except I think if she does rock up, she'll be in like Hugh Jackman, like a more comic book.
Oh yeah.
Suit. Same with James Marsden wearing the blue and the yellow.
Oh yeah, no, that would be totally cool. I just want like those like I don't know like, and obviously I love Game of Thrones. I like her in that, but I don't really want the Sophie Turner version or any of those ones. Like that wouldn't excite me. Like you can see, it's just actually I need a Wolverine one, but I put again all my Marvel ones out. The only X-Men one I actually have is the Dark Phoenix Jean Grey.
Yeah,
so they're pretty cool. I don't know, like even like with that I don't know. I don't even mind that movie, The Last Stand, too much. Like I think she's really good as like the Phoenix and stuff. Like aside from like I don't know, maybe the execution with some things wasn't great, but like I don't know. I think she's kind of like an underrated actress. I don't know. I like whenever she shows up in things, but also she's like she's the one I'm most worried won't be in it, to be honest, because I feel like she's sort of like fallen out of, I guess, the big movies now, whereas like James Marsden, Halle Berry, they're still like names. And
well, the last thing I can remember seeing her in was Taken.
Yeah, and then she's in a lot of like terrible things. I think I'm mainly a big fan of her because I'm like a big James Bond fan too. And I don't know if you've seen all the Bond movies, but she was like in GoldenEye and stuff too.
Yes, she was too, which she looked really good in that.
Yeah, not gonna lie. I guess I'm a little biased. I think I have a bit of a crush on her, even though she's like almost 60. I think she still looks really good.
I'll still give it a whirl.
So yeah, she's like low key. I've been like kind of like hoping her and Hugh Jackman since like Multiverse of Madness, because remember they were teasing that there was gonna be like Wanda was gonna fight an X-Men character in that. Like
yes,
it seemed like that like Professor X was cool, but wouldn't it have been cool like Scarlet Witch versus like Dark Phoenix, like those two?
Yes,
I
agree.
I don't even know which one's more powerful between those two.
Oh, I want to say Dark Phoenix. I want to say.
But I don't know. I could go either way, but like I just feel like both those actresses are so good at being like so intense in those roles.
Seeing them go to head would be nuts. But
yeah,
going head to head, speaking into that.
Oh, okay, we're doing this now.
Well,
Yes, the
yeah.
whole reason I was originally asked to come on.
Yeah. Oh god, okay. Let's okay. Madam Web. $80 million to make. Set in 2003. Part of the Sony universe. All right. You go first, Eric.
Okay, so to me, like, I didn't really have any expectations going into this because, like, it was just another one of these Spider-Man-less Spider-Man villain movies. And so I pretty much expected another Morbius, and I know most people seem to think it's even worse than Morbius, but to me, it's basically another Morbius. Like, I think it's superficially like fine to like watch even in a theater and just kind of turn your brain off and sort of laugh at how silly it is. I don't know, like I think Dakota Johnson was actually pretty good in the role. I'm If it was actually going to tie into some things, I think it would also be more interesting, but I feel like this one's like just like we're never going to see anything from this movie again.
No, I don't
Even
think so.
even in like I don't know. I don't know what the plans are for this whole Sony Spider-Man-less universe.
They don't have any plans, Eric. That's the point.
Okay, because I'm like, are they building up to some kind of villain team up or something? Or
I don't know. Well,
But
there was the thing after Morbius with Michael Keaton's
Vulture, yeah.
Vulture. Like, I was like, I think it's got something to do with this Spider-Man character.
Yeah, I don't know. And then Venom, it looked like he was gonna be in No Way Home, and then he's like in it for like just a second, and then he gets sent back
So quickly, within the space of 5 minutes.
Yeah, so I mean, like, so yeah, Madam Web. I mean, I would say outright. So the thing that like what I would say is like the parts of it that I think are actually as bad as people are saying are probably the villain is the worst part of the whole thing. I think.
Ezekiel. Yeah, tell me. I noticed this, so did my friend, but did his voice seem sometimes that it was dubbed over?
Yeah, I sort of noticed that, and I've heard other people say the same thing. Yeah, no, I think yeah, maybe it was. I mean, that does happen sometimes. I almost wonder maybe I haven't seen the actor in anything else, but could it be like sometimes they do that if like they film the actors and then I'm thinking maybe just because it was him specifically, I'm wondering if it's like not something with his performance, but maybe he was hard to understand or something. Do you think it could be like? I think because they've done that in other, even just in other Marvel movies. I can think of, and if you remember, do you remember the Wolverine, like the second Hugh Jackman standalone, which I think is a pretty good one. You know, it's no Logan, but it's a lot better than Origins.
True.
Yeah. So in that one, do you remember Viper?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was like this Russian actress, and yeah, she her lines were like completely dubbed by like a different actress.
Really?
I think her accent was like too thick or something.
Oh, I didn't notice. I didn't notice that, but I noticed Ezekiel. It was just when he was talking, I was like, your mouth isn't really.
Yeah, I didn't. I guess to me, it was just like a lot of his lines. Just, I mean, all the dialogue in this movie is something, but like, yeah, all of his lines just like the delivery seemed like weird to me. So, but yeah, and something I don't know if I like clicked in my mind like, oh, it wasn't matching up as much in the movie, but I've heard you and many people say that. So I think that was. I mean, the only other reason I can think of would maybe be if it wasn't to do with like, they weren't happy with how you could understand them, was maybe if they like changed just what the dialogue was altogether. Because wasn't this at one point gonna tie a bit more directly into Spider-Man, and they were actually maybe I don't know, maybe something like that. But in this version, they just like don't even like it's like the baby's clearly Spider-Man, but they don't ever like say the name.
No,
I don't know if
but
that was like always the plan just to tease it, but I don't know.
I know. That scene at the end where he's like, oh, he's an uncle, all the fun and no responsibility, and she's like, oh, that's what he knows. I was like, oh, okay, it's a bit cringe. And the thing is, the cast for this movie is fantastic. That's the thing. That Emma Roberts, like the Dakota Johnson's, Sydney Sweeney, like such a good cast of people. I'm like, it's just the meat of this movie just seems like it's been out in the sun for too long.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, or like, yeah, they don't really have. There's only so much they can do with it. When, like, again, we talked about like the dialogues. Like, I think maybe the worst part of the movie.
It is
like
the dialogue.
Really, it's like really like a lot of comic book movies. Like, you'll notice some clunky dialogue, but this one, like it's like hitting you over the head.
I know, and
it's just it feels like one-liners every like couple minutes, but like not like in a really forced way, especially in like that third act.
With great responsibility, no, with great power.
Great power comes great. I don't know. They basically switched it.
Yeah, they switched the line, and I was like, I know, maybe cringe. Maybe some lines were a bit cringy to listen to, but like one thing about this movie, I will say is positive is it did give me like Final Destination vibes.
Yeah, how you like see them get killed and then
see them get killed.
I haven't actually seen any Final Destination movies, but I know the general idea.
Oh, yeah, don't. You won't want to drive on the road ever again or go near a nail gun. But that I did like. I did like that about the movie. But it just, and even they really also really wanted to put in the emphasis to the fact that it's 2003. Like when it zoomed in on the Britney song, I was like, we get it. It's 2003.
Yeah, that's. Or actually, like, so I mentioned I saw it with my mom. She, for some reason, or she thought the cars in the bulk of the movie made it look like, I know it wasn't because obviously it was like 30 years or whatever after the opening in the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
But she said the cars and everything reminded her of the 80s. I didn't even really notice the cars, but did you notice anything like that? Like, I'm wondering, like, do you think at one point it was supposed to be set earlier and then they realized that wouldn't like match up with the Spider-Man plot or something?
Yeah, I could see that. I could 100% see that.
Like,
I just felt like oh, don't forget she's an Ambo driver, because what car does she steal so conveniently? Another ambulance.
Oh yeah, so okay, that part at the end, was that just the ambulance that was coming? Was that to like Uncle Ben's house? Was that the one?
Yeah.
Okay, because I didn't like maybe make that connection when I saw it the first time, and that made me sad when I found that out, because it's like, oh, wouldn't this movie have been even better if like your main protagonist like steals an ambulance from somebody who's like probably dying, like to go save the day? That would be just hilarious to me. That reminds me of like, have you ever seen that 1990s like Captain America movie?
No, I've seen clips from it.
Oh yeah, so like all the clips you need to see are basically just like, I think if you just look up on YouTube, there's a video called Captain America is a Dick. And it's just these two scenes of him like...
I think I've seen that.
Yeah, he steals a car. He does it twice in the movie. He like steals people's cars. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
And he does the same routine where he's like he's like a passenger in the car, and then he needs to like take the car somewhere without them. And then he just says, "Oh, I feel sick. Can you pull over?" And then he like goes and walks far away, and they come to see if he's okay. And then he runs back and gets in the car and drives away and leaves them. It's like the funniest thing ever. So anyways, it just reminded me of that. Like if she stole like an ambulance, I'm like, that's in a bad comic book movie, that's what you want. Your superhero like being a hero in like the
just being
absolute
a dick.
Worst way.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that's how the ambulance came. But I just I can't remember the last time I watched a movie and I could notice the dialogue being bad, and
Morbius wasn't much better, was it?
No, and he like it's Morbin time.
Did they don't did
No,
they say that?
they don't. They
Okay, I
don't.
don't
But
remember.
if he did, it would still fit in with the rest of the movie.
Yeah, wasn't there? I remember the scene in the trailer. Did they? Was it in? Because they changed it from the trailer of the movie. Doesn't he say in the movie like I'm Venom or something? And then he's like, "Oh, I'm joking."
Yeah, they change that.
Like,
He's
what
like,
was
oh no,
that?
I know, I'm Dr. Morbius. It's like, oh, that was bad. But this film, it just it's just all round, just half baked, and some of the CGI, like the girls' suits, they all looked cool, but I don't know if it was just me, but like Dakota Johnson's spider suit, and when she's like behind him, I'm like, that looks bad.
Oh yeah, like the part at the very end.
Yeah, like them standing there, that looked fine, but her floating behind, I'm like, oh.
I mean, maybe it's the way it was shot too, but even their suits, like they were fine, but also like I don't know if it's just because they're all like teenage girls, but it's just like whenever you see them in the suits, it reminded me of like the CW, like the DC CW shows.
Yes. Yes, it does. Yeah.
And yeah, no, Sydney Sweeney, like we said, is just pretty good for what material she has. But like the other two, I don't know. You can tell they're not like as seasoned of actors.
No.
I
Oh,
would
and look,
say.
all of our parents are not here. So we are all connected together.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't give you like enough of a reason to care about anyone really. Like I mean, I guess it gives. I'd say it gives you like maybe the bare minimum for Madam Web herself. But
Mm.
like the three girls, like
Which is meant
it's
to,
like
if you are watching, she's meant to look like this. I know there's a younger
yeah,
version of her.
yeah. No, I
Which,
remember. Yeah, I do remember like the character from the animated Spider-Man series.
yeah.
I was always like weirded out by those scenes. I'm like, what is
Yeah.
happening in this show?
I
But
don't
yeah, I
know.
mean, like I guess I didn't hate it though, because maybe I'm like, well, it's kind of an interesting premise of a character, but like it's just the actual story. And again, I think most of my issues go back to the villain, because like really, like what the heck is his motivation? And we don't really. I mean, I guess the opening scene kind of explains why, like he gets the spider power from the spider she's like holding there, right?
Yeah. And when we don't him see bitten, we don't actually know he's been bitten until he starts leaping and crawling
Yeah.
and
And I
all
guess
that.
so. The three girls, I guess they're going to be bitten, but because they don't have powers yet, right?
Yeah, like
So I don't know. Yeah,
when
it's just also like okay, they're yeah. I don't know. It's just it's hard to talk. I know this is like the main topic I came on for, but yeah, probably the hardest thing to talk about because I'm like,
no,
yeah,
that's
there's not like that much to the movie, right? Like, am I wrong?
no, you're not wrong. It's just it seems like just again, Sony's execution on this is so rough. And you can tell this is not an MCU movie, and you can tell that this was hired by writers, shitty writers, for this film. And this is the kickoff. Sony has 3 Marvel films coming out this year. This, Kraven the Hunter, and Venom 3. And so far, their first one's a dud.
I mean, and so far, I don't think that trajectory will literally continue, but more or less, like having their 4 movies, don't they just get worse every time?
They do. This is
Like,
rated lower than Morbius.
and I don't know, and I guess maybe some people would debate on which Venom is better, but I thought the second one was worse personally.
Oh no, I
Like,
think Venom 1 was a lot better. Venom
yeah,
1
like
was a
Venom
lot
one's
better.
the only one of their movies where like it's not good, but I kind of thought it was like okay.
Hmm.
It was sort
It
of
was
like
just okay.
yeah, and it was I think I liked how it was like funny, but like kind of in an unintentional way, and then it sort of like felt like that. Whereas then the
Hmm.
second one, they kind of leaned into it. It's like, oh, okay, everyone thought Venom was really funny. Let's make this one even funnier. And it was
It's
just
bad.
like so like it was just like jarring. That second one, in terms of like, I might even say like I'd say it's still better than Morbius and Madam Web overall. But in terms of just editing, it might be the worst one. Like, it was jarring going through that movie. Like, it was such a breakneck pace. It felt like, I mean, maybe some people like it, but it felt like such a Saturday morning cartoon. Like, what is even like, how are things happening? You know what I mean?
Yeah, there is this, especially the ending feels like there's so much on the cutting room floor. Like, it's so choppy to get to the next scene. Which the Madam Web doesn't suffer from that. It's just like, this is a film that's not connected to anything. It's the dialogue's bad, some of the CGI is bad, but this is not a movie that you're going to go back and watch. There's nothing in this movie that's going to make you go back and watch this.
So I do have like a group of friends that I did watch like just so I've seen all these movies in theaters, right? But then I did have I do have some friends over where just like when we want like a random kind of movie to chill to in the evening, we did do that with both Venom 2 and Morbius. So I could see if they just show up on streaming, I could see that happening with Madam Web. So I might watch it again for that, because I think these movies are like not bad to just have on and kind of giggle at.
Yeah.
Which
you have a laugh at them. You have a laugh at them.
Yeah, and like I don't know, and I honestly would like lump the Marvels into that category. Personally,
this Marvels was a lot better than this.
Like in certain, I don't know, but in terms of enjoyability, I think they were about the same for me personally.
Nah, that's fair. That's totally fair.
I think the editing and like the storytelling in the Marvels is actually even worse. Like the way the villain, the villain's actually worse in this, but the villain in that movie,
the villain's worse than this.
Pretty horribly underdeveloped though in the Marvels.
Yes. Oh, it's the villain. Oh, going back.
I know we're splitting hairs here, I guess.
Splitting hairs, because I'm just like thinking, Yeah,
I don't know.
Who's worse? Ezekiel, who's dubbed, or I can't remember the chick's name in the Marvels.
I actually remember. It's Dar-Ben.
Dar-Ben, yes, you're right. So yeah, Dar-Ben. I'm like, ooh, so scared about Dar-Ben. Yeah, so terrifying. But
just felt like it was one of those movies where it felt like half an hour to an hour of footage was missing.
Yeah,
that's what I felt like with the Marvels. Like it was, you could tell like it was Marvels. Like there was the one time I feel like they really like pretty much pulled like a WB with like what they did like with like Justice League and Suicide Squad, the first one. Like it felt like that, like kind of like compromised to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whereas Madam Web, I don't think it was maybe ever a good movie, so it didn't feel as compromised. It just felt like it wasn't a good movie, and I could just sort of enjoy it for that.
Yeah. Well, not to mention, on top of that, there's a whole theory, or not theory, but it's that Sony tricked Sydney Sweeney and Dakota Johnson, telling them this is part of the MCU.
Wait, but they didn't figure that out?
No, that's why I don't understand. That's why I don't understand. It's like, obviously, for us, we know that, but, an actor might not know, oh, it is part of the MCU. No, it's not. No, it's not. But look, do you have, what's your final thoughts on this movie?
I think it's really just like the definition of mediocre, but I actually don't think it's like the worst comic book movie I've ever seen, like most people seem to be saying. I've seen worse. Yeah,
it's not the worst. I've seen worse too. I'd say Morbius would even be lower than this. But
yeah, this Morbius, Venom 2 are kind of interchangeable to me. Yeah. I didn't have a terrible time
all Sony
watching any of them, but they're all like, well, okay.
Yeah, they're all Sony. All Sony that we're talking about the worst films.
No, I mean, I'm trying to think of like the worst. I don't know. There's a lot, but
yeah, but in that sense, no.
Catwoman comes to mind.
Ooh, yeah, that's bad.
From what I remember, I've only seen it once a long time ago.
I think I've seen half of that, and then I turned it off because I'm like, this is just terrible to watch.
I mean, and then there's some where it's like they barely even, before comic book movies are really taken off, or they didn't even have a proper budget. Like, I'm not going to include
Elektra.
or I haven't even seen that one still. I guess I should before Deadpool, because yeah, her of all characters is confirmed to be in it, which
Yes.
I don't know. I'm not like, okay, that makes me nervous with Deadpool 3. I'm like, okay, so we've confirmed like Elektra, and then are we gonna like not have we're gonna have Elektra but not Jean Grey? Like, I don't know. That to me is like that doesn't excite me. Do you know what I mean?
I know it's not the same, but yeah, look, yeah, Madam Web, you go see it. It's not the worst. It's not the worst, but it is.
Odds are you'll probably
pretty
think
bad.
it is the worst if you are like most people, but I can't say I thought it was like unbearable. I had a fun time watching it in the theater on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, well, look, I'm still glad you had a good Valentine's Day. Oh, look, Eric, I want to say thank you so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate you being here. I can't wait to have you again on it. And I think we potentially may have passed. This is my longest episode, I think.
Yeah, I have a tendency to do that.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I'm glad. It makes you've been a great guest. And I can't wait till the next time you're on the show. But I really appreciate you being here. Any final words?
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, thanks so much for having me. And yeah, anytime you want me back, I'd love to come on. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. And I appreciate having someone to just talk nerdy stuff with, like to no end.
You can. I will always be up for that anytime. And as always, everybody who's watching, listening, thank you for coming past in this episode. And until next time, happy ranting.
Thanks for listening to Lights, Camera, Rant. If you like the show, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. While you're at it, leave us a rating and review, and be sure to tell your friends. Until next time, happy ranting.